My sincere greetings to everyone. Today we are going to discuss a very beautiful poem written by Percy Bysshe Shelley. The title of the poem is England in 1819. Let me tell you something about Percy Bysshe Shelley first. P.B. Shelley, a leading poet of the Romantic movement, was born on August 4, 1792 in an aristocratic family of England. He got his education at Sion House Academy and he was sent to University College Oxford in 1810. But due to his revolutionary ideas, he was expelled from the university. He revolted against the authorities of state and religion. At the age of 19, he secretly married Harriet Westbrook, which was not a happy union. Harriet committed suicide in 1816 and Shelley married Mary Godwin, whose father influenced his political and social ideology. Shelley left England and he went to Italy, where he spent the remaining 4 years of his life. He died by drowning at the age of 30. Now, let me tell you something about this particular poem, that is England in 1819. In this beautiful sonnet, the poet has described the real picture of political and economic conditions of England in 1819. It is an attack on the prevailing social order and economic instability of this age. There was a constant struggle between the rich and the poor, the oppressor and the oppressed, liberty and tyranny, and evil and good. King George III and his sons were disliked by the public because of their cruelty and idleness. They could neither see nor feel nor know. The poet wanted his country to be free from these leech-like rulers so that people could live in a world of equality, liberty, and justice. Now let us read this beautiful sonnet. An old, mad, blind, despised, and dying king, princes, the dregs of their dull race, who flow through public scorn, mud from a muddy spring, rulers who neither see nor feel nor know, but leech-like to their fainting country clinch, till they drop, blind in blood, without a blow. A people starved and stabbed in the untilled field, an army which liberticide and prey makes as a two-edged sword to all who wield golden and sanguine laws which tempt and slay. Religion Christless, godless, book sealed, a senate, time's worst statute unrepealed, are graves from which a glorious phantom may burst to illumine our tempestuous day. Now let's begin with the line-by-line explanation of this sonnet. Let's take the first 6 lines first. An old, mad, blind, despised, and dying king, princes, the dregs of their dull race, who flow through public scorn, mud from a muddy spring. In these lines, the poet attacks the stupidity and cruelty of King George III and his sons. King George III is an old, mad, blind, and despised king. He is on the verge of death. His sons are also useless and dull like him. They are like mud from a muddy spring. Now let's take up the next 3 lines. Rulers who neither see nor feel nor know, but leech-like to their fainting country clinch, till they drop, blind in blood, without a blow. These rulers of England are like mud from a muddy spring. The poet compares these rulers to the leeches who suck human blood. They know nothing about the sorrows and sufferings of the people. They are getting fat on the blood of the public. The poet wants his country to be free from these leech-like rulers who have become so fat by sucking the blood of common people. He says that these leeches, that is, these rulers, will not leave until they become blind due to the excess of blood of the people. Now let us take up the next lines. A people starved and stabbed in the untilled field, an army which liberticide and prey makes as a two-edged sword to all who wield golden and sanguine laws which tempt and slay. In these lines, the poet gives a reference to the Peterloo massacre in which several innocent people were killed and many were injured. They were starved and attacked by the army at St. Peter's Fields. This army was a killer of liberty and it acted as a two-edged sword. Though the laws seemed to be reformative, yet they attracted the common people only to kill them. The golden and sanguine laws means that the laws which favored only the wealthy and rich class. Two-edged sword means the dual policy of the army of England. This army was under the control of government and it worked as a weapon of oppression. The poet calls it two-edged sword because it can harm the government as well. Now the last four lines: religion Christless, godless, book sealed, a senate, time's worst statute unrepealed, are graves from which a glorious phantom may burst to illumine our tempestuous day. This is the last stanza of the poem. Here the poet says that in 1819, in England, religion had become Christless and godless. It was like a sealed Bible used for only people in power. The parliament was also dominated by the rich and powerful people. It passed such laws which exploited the common people instead of improving their condition. But the poet is hopeful for the bright future. He says that a glorious vision will come out of the graves of this rotten condition of poor people, which will bring glorious days for the poor and exploited strata of society. Being a visionary and idealist, the poet is quite optimistic about the bright future of England. He hopes that the present state of society, which is full of oppression, cruelty, tyranny and exploitation, will disappear soon, and the spirit of liberty in the form of a glorious phantom will bring about a world of equality, liberty and justice for all. The poem has beautifully brought out the plight of common people and cruelty and wickedness of the rulers of his time. The poem is a political satire on the corrupt system of England in 1819. This was all about this poem, England in 1819. Hope you have understood it well. Thank you and have a nice day.